All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Thursday. We've done a couple of these Facebook Lives this week, and well, here we go again. Another winter storm headed our way, so another Facebook Live, and live really across platforms to talk about this next system, what you can expect, how much snow we're going to see, and all of the above. So if you are tuning on in, thank you so much for joining us. If you could drop me a comment, let me know where you're watching from, let me know your thoughts, how are you feeling, if you have any questions about this next snowstorm, would love to chat with you and answer any questions you might have. I do see we've got some people logging on now. We'll give some others a chance to join, but we are definitely in this active winter pattern, so things looking good if you are a winter snow lover, and that's going to continue to be the case for today. Let's dive into that forecast now. As you can see, we're going to start with the here and the now. Satellite and radar for us. It's quiet. We've got clouds around, and radar is trying to paint the picture that we're getting snow. We're not getting snow, and I have been checking on some of my other apps and some of our reporting sites. None of these flurries are making it to the ground. Our air is just too dry, so maybe a stray flurry here or there through the day, but for the most part we are in the clear. Tomorrow is a much different story, and that's because we're tracking this next winter storm headed our way. Here is the setup. We've got this quick clipper. This is gonna push to our north. No big deal. We've got clouds and we've got flurries from it, but no impactful weather. This area of low pressure and this disturbance, you can see some snow already up in parts of the northern Great Plains. That's what's headed our way, and that's what's going to track across the northern tier of the United States and impact us for our Friday. So that's our next system and the next track that I am keeping an eye on. And here's a look. You can see the path that it's going to take just by looking at the winter weather alerts across the country. Of course, in Montana, some spots are getting those winter storm warnings in pink. We do have winter weather advisories through the plains, through the Midwest, even for parts of the Tennessee River Valley, Ohio River Valleys, and then you move here to South Central Pennsylvania, and there we go. Our entire area is under that winter weather advisory. This starts at 1 a.m. tonight, so technically 1 a.m. Friday, and it goes all the way through Friday, and it ends at 1 a.m. Saturday. So we are going to be watching really just Friday as that time period when this winter weather moves on in, and when you need to be mindful of some of those impacts it may have. I see we do have some viewers. I see Dave from Delta. Hi to Dave. Thanks for tuning on in. If you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. I'll be able to give you that better forecast for your neighborhood, and we'll be able to answer any questions. If you have questions, please drop those below as well. Let's take a look outside. Of course, we still have snow on the ground. This is the live look out over in Raffo Township in Lancaster County, and it's been a chilly morning. Thankfully, winds have really quieted down since yesterday, so the breezes aren't going to be as much of a concern today, and that wind chill factor not a concern. It's still cold regardless. It's 17 in Lebanon, 26 in York, 22 in Lancaster and Carlisle, 24 in Harrisburg right now. We will do a little bit better through this afternoon. We're climbing up into the 30s, and again, a couple flurries possible, but no impactful weather today. Tonight's when that snow starts to arrive and starts to impact our area, so that is what we will be watching as we go on really through the overnight time period, and I'm going to get to that in just a little bit here. When it comes to that timing, I see Randall's asking how much snow tomorrow in Myerstown. I'll have that for you in just a second. I see Morgan's watching from over in Denver. Hi to Morgan over in Lancaster County. You're also going to be getting into some of those snowy spots tomorrow. Here's Futurecast. This is what you want to know, right? When is the snow coming? Today, this is 3 p.m. We're cloudy, we're clear, no big deal. As we go on into your Friday, this is 5 a.m. and we're seeing some of that snow moving in. It moves in from southwest to northeast, and it starts off as just some light snow showers, but then I do expect it to pick up and become a little bit more widespread through the late morning, early afternoon. Here's 10 a.m. We're seeing some more of those steadier snow showers here and there, and it's really continuing for much of your Friday. Through lunchtime, we're seeing those widespread snow showers, and then we'll start to see them tapering off as we go through the afternoon. So this is 2:30, 3 o'clock, starting to peter out, and then certainly as we get closer to sunset and overnight, things are looking much quieter as we go throughout the evening time. So things looking better as we go, later on through the day, but for the bulk of the first half of the day, not looking so great. And then as we go into Saturday, maybe a couple flurries on the backside, but for the most part, not as impactful. So here's a look at that timeline that we've really constructed for the system. It's going to be 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow that we're watching as those snow showers temperatures move in. So that's when everything starts. And then it's really just continuing as we go throughout the rest of the morning into the early afternoon. And then between 2 and 6 is when it starts to taper off and we start to get that drying on the backside of that system. What we are concerned about is going to be those travel concerns, slick, slippery roads. For unfortunately most of the day, it does look like we are going to be having some of those issues. And I don't think it matters where you live. Everyone's got these conditions. And that's because we're forecasting a pretty widespread snowfall event for us. I see Christopher is joining from York. Hi, Christopher. Morgan wants to know how many inches for over in Denver, Marjorie and Rutherford. Well, here you go, guys. 2 to 4 inches is really going to be the general forecast for you. There's no one spot that is most likely to be heavier or lesser. This is a pretty widespread event for us. So it's a plowable snow. Good news is, similar to the last snow we had, this is a light and fluffy snow. So hopefully it's a little bit easier for you to do the shoveling and the clearing as we go throughout the day. Because the temperatures are so cold, it's going to be that lighter, fluffier snow. So the snowfall ratio is going to be a little bit higher. Typically for 1 inch of rain, you get about 10 inches of snow. This event, it's going to be higher. So an inch of rain could give you 20 inches of snow. Now, we're not getting an inch of rain. We are just getting a little bit of precipitation that's going to lead to that 2 to 4 inch mark. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to your snowfall outlook for the entire area. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to move on here. Looking at the potential travel delays for your Friday, I think the first half of the day in particular is going to be the worst. The morning through the early afternoon is when we're going to see those heaviest delays. Our grounds and our roads are below freezing. The snow is going to stick. And I know a lot of people were surprised that we had so many lingering problems from Tuesday's storm. So I do anticipate it to be, about the same as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. And then we should start to get better as we go overnight. Snow tapers off, plows are able to get out there and really clear all of those spots. So things improve as we go later on in the day, but really the first good chunk of the day, we are going to be watching for some of those delays and what we're seeing across the area. Now, behind this, we've got a really strong and impressive winter blast headed our way. Here's a look at these wind chill values and your temperatures. So when we have this map out here on Featurecast, your white numbers are going to be your temperature, and your orange, yellowy colors, that's going to be your wind chill. So Friday 3 p.m. it's 30 degrees, it feels like 25. Things are fine. It's winter, we can handle that. As we go on into the weekend, it gets a little chilly. In fact, bitterly cold. Here's a look at Saturday morning, 6 a.m. We've got temperatures, actual temperatures in the teens. We've got feels like values down into the single digits. I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw some feels like values or wind chill values at 0 or below with some of this really cold air moving on in. And of course, it's these gusty winds that make the wind chill so impressive and really something to keep an eye on as we go through the weekend. We do get improvements looking through the forecast as we go on into the rest of next week. We do have a warm up headed our way, but in the meantime, it's going to be a bitterly cold one for the weekend. 34 for today, 20s on tap for your Friday with that snowfall moving through. We'll keep with the chance for some flurries on Saturday, looking at your full forecast, and then we get more sunshine as we go on into Sunday and the beginning of next week. Things turn up. We are in the 30s for Sunday and Monday, 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Looks like a system heads our way through the middle or end of next week. Likely to be just rain as we see those temperatures start to climb, but things really looking to improve as we go on through that next week. There's a full look at your forecast. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to drop them below. Message any of us on social media. Chief Meteorologist Brain Long will be back in later on this evening with the latest updates when it comes to this winter storm. We'll get you through it tomorrow morning on Fox 43 Morning News, and we'll let you know if there's any, delays or school restrictions going on across the area. I don't see any more questions, so I am going to wrap things up. Of course, your forecast always on fox43.com/weather. Everyone,